Fanbox with Joey B. I'm your host, Joey B. Well, everybody, welcome back. This is the new season of the Fanbox. The first season we did, it was just kind of a trial run, seeing what I can do, what I can't do, what my strong points, what my weaknesses. So this summer's been a crazy summer for me, adjusting to my new life outside the military. I haven't been able to keep up with all the big stories this summer, and I apologize for that. But we are going to go over the quick big stories like the NBA and whatnot here in a minute. But first off, I want to say, everybody, welcome back. Thank you for the fan love. I really appreciate it. The fan box is coming back in bigger and better ways, which we will talk about at the end of the show. But for right now, we're going to get to what this show is about, and that's sports. To start off, we're going to congratulate the Pittsburgh Penguins for winning the Stanley Cup this year. Sidney Crosby did a great job. They did a great job throughout the whole playoffs. I think the whole NHL playoffs was just a step up from what it has been in the past, I would say 5 or 6 years, especially for the home team, the Dallas Stars, who have not been really a big team since the 90s. But this year they're the number one team in their conference and in their division. They fought hard in the playoffs until they met with the St. Louis Blues, and they went into a 7-game series. And then the Blues went on, and they eventually ended up losing. But I think the NHL is starting to grow back, not just in the state of Texas and the DFW area, but also around the country. As everybody knows, baseball is going on right now. I'm not the biggest baseball guy, but I've been trying to get more into baseball so I can report it as much as I can. This season, I'm just going to give out throughout the show, but throughout the season, the rest of the season of August, September, and October. I'll throw some little flashes in there, but I would love to have somebody who is an MLB expert fan-wise that would like to talk about baseball and to join the Fanbox team and to help me out with the baseball aspect of things. And I'll go ahead and throw out my pick for the winner this year. I would love to say the Rangers, but they're having too many pitching problems. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Chicago Cubs. They're doing everything to make this year their year. They haven't won a championship in 108 years. I think this year is Chicago Cubs' year. Let's move on to NBA news. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers winning the championship. The first championship in professional sports in Cleveland in 52 years was brought to them by LeBron James, the son of Ohio. He came back from Miami. Last year, they go to 6 games against the Golden State Warriors. Lose. It was heartbreaking. It was heart-wrenching. This year, the Golden State Warriors go 73-9. The best record in NBA history. Steph Curry wins the unanimous MVP the first time in NBA history. They're just fighting. Everybody's like, Golden State, Golden State. Golden State's up 3-1 in the series. Oh, it's over. It's over. LeBron choked again. Bam. LeBron had 4 40-point games in the NBA Finals. Kyrie Irving, he went off. And they came back. They forced Game 7. They go into Golden State. They go into the Oracle Arena in Oakland. They go in. They fight hard. It's the closest game of the series. Kyrie Irving, ice in his veins. That 3 right in the defender's face. LeBron James comes out of nowhere with the monster block to seal the freaking deal. It was out freaking standing. Fan-freaking-tastic. LeBron gets his 3rd ring. Gets the first championship in Cleveland. It was fantastic. It was great. Now we're going to move on to other big stories this summer in the NBA. One of the biggest splashes in NBA free agency this summer was Kevin Durant signing on with the Golden State Warriors after Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder were only 1 game away from beating the Warriors and advancing to the NBA Finals. Another shocking splash in the NBA free agency was Dwayne Wade, Mr. Miami, leaving the Miami Heat after 13 years to go to his hometown with the Chicago Bulls. Moving on from NBA free agency, Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba, has retired after 20 years with the Los Angeles Lakers. Bryant has become the first player in NBA history to stay with the same franchise for 20 years. Mamba ended his career with a 60-point game against the Utah Jazz. Mr. Kobe Bryant, you will be missed. To wrap up the stories this summer in the NBA, we go down to San Antonio. The big fundamental, Tim Duncan, has retired after 19 years with the San Antonio Spurs. In that time, he won 5 NBA championships with the Spurs. He said that number 20 wasn't really that big of a deal and that he could still play if he wanted to, but he wasn't having any more fun and he thought he was getting in the way of the young talent that the Spurs had. The big fundamental will also be missed next year in the NBA. Moving on from NBA, we're going to move on to the NFL. As we all know, training camps have opened up this week, and I can't freaking wait. I'm excited. Football is back. It's back. Training camps have started. We got the Hall of Fame game tonight in Canton, Ohio. I'm going to be watching it. The Cowboys started training camp on Saturday. It was fantastic. I watched the coverage on that. I've been watching the coverage of all the camps. Let's throw on the radio, whatever I can do. Football's back, and it just feels great to know that football is here again. I know I keep saying that, but just hearing it makes me happy, and it should make the majority of you happy. So we're going to go ahead and hit up some hot topics this summer. Just recently, Ryan Fitzpatrick, after this whole standout with the New York Jets, finally signed a 1-year deal. I don't know why it took so long. He did fantastic for the team last year. They went 10-6. He was great. He wasn't even the starter. You had Geno Smith, who got popped in the mouth and his jaw was broken. Fitzpatrick comes in, plays all season, does amazing. Brandon Marshall loves him. The whole team loves him. And the Jets would not give him a good deal. Like, why? Why? He's a proven quarterback, and I don't know. Anyway, but it happened. But what's funny is that Fitzpatrick was trying to stay out of the media, and he has a certain barber he goes to, and that barbershop was put into the newspaper that's his barbershop, so he stopped going to getting haircuts on his beard and everything. He looks like a crazy, crazy caveman. The beard is huge, his hair is huge. Hopefully he'll get a haircut now that he got that new deal. Also, another Jet, Brandon Marshall, has bet wide receiver Antonio Brown from the Steelers on a car on who has the better season this year. I wish I was able to bet somebody a car over how well I'm going to do at my profession. We're going to go on to key injuries. Steve Smith Sr. from the Baltimore Ravens, his ruptured Achilles is still not fully healed, and he is not participating in training camps. Darren McFadden, possible backup running back for the Dallas Cowboys now, broke his elbow when he was by a poolside at a funeral and had fell on it. So he is questionable for the beginning of the season, so it looks like a lot of reps for the fourth pick in the first round, Ezekiel Elliott. Jordy Nelson, who was all out last year with a left knee torn ACL, has some funny business, as he put it, with his right knee, and he is currently on the PUP list and is not participating in training camp. We're going to move on to non-injuries, but suspensions. Josh Gordon, who we all know was suspended 10 games in 2014 and then was suspended all of the last season for popping for marijuana several times. Now, I don't condone marijuana, but I don't see why, for NFL players, why it's still illegal for them to do it when in several states where the NBA has, or the NFL, I apologize, the NFL has several teams in those states where marijuana is legal, including edibles and the brownies and the smoke you get medically and whatnot. And everybody sees it, marijuana is a pain reliever. And so these NFL players are going to do it because to relieve the pain without having to use hard narcotics and stuff like that. So I think the NFL should really look at that and let the players, as long as they're in a state doing it legally, that it shouldn't matter if they pop hot on the test. But he has been reinstated finally. But as soon as he's reinstated, suspended 4 games. Also 4-game suspensions are DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory of the Dallas Cowboys. Randy Gregory then again popped hot again and is now in a rehab facility and could be facing more suspension. Also, linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, Rolando McClain, has failed his 5th drug test now and is suspended for the first 10 games of the season. I think he's a waste of space. He doesn't try. He keeps popping on these drug tests for the Dallas Cowboys. He doesn't like playing football. He always has a reason not to go to training camp. He hasn't reported to training camp. He just signed a 1-year deal with $75,000 guaranteed. He can get fined $40,000 for every day he doesn't show up to training camp. The Cowboys could be getting their money back there. He's a lost cause. And the Dallas Cowboys could be fined $250,000 for having 3 suspended players with drug-related issues. Drop Rolando McClain so they don't get fined. Duh, Jerry. Also, Johnny Manziel, as we all know, was cut by the Browns earlier this year, March, and has just been on a binge of drugs and drinking and trashing houses. But earlier this month in July, he said on July 1st he was going to go clean and start training because he wants to pursue his NFL career. I know almost everybody's given up on him. Even his own father has. I think Johnny Manziel can, if he tries to be sober and really works out hard, I think he still has a slight chance of coming into the NFL and just being, maybe not being a great player, but being an exciting player to watch. Well, that's all the sports news we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to move on real quick. I want to talk about the All-Star of the Week, Will McCoy.
My name is Will, it's not luck, it's all skill. I'm a basketball beast, I'm the best in white sport to say the least. Even though I'm not that tall, this boy can still ball. I'll cross you over, put you on the ground like a dog named Nova. Leave you on all fours while I'm on my NBA tours. I get all the girls, life's like a roller coaster with all the twirls. Wanna play me, come at your boy, the name is Will McCoy.
Everybody get a round of applause for the All-Star of the Week, Will McCoy, with those sick basketball handles. Will is a very uprising basketball star here in Whitesboro, Texas. He starts the Pard League this winter, and we cannot wait to see what he brings to the table. Hopefully some more highlights for the All-Star of the Week. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that we are coming to an end on today's show. I know in the beginning of the show I talking about the direction that the show is going in, all the changes we're going to be making. I'm going to make a separate video for that. So you can watch all this video and you're not trying to wait to the end. And I don't want my fan boxes to be too long and no lose interest. So I'm gonna put out a separate video after I post this. And I really want y'all to tune in because I'm trying to make the fan box more interactive with the people, with the fans, and make it not just about me, but make a team for the fan box. So to learn more, go to the next video after this one. So I hope you all have a blessed Sunday. This is the fan box, Joey B.